into a whole collection of pieces that you could use on your foyer table, okay? This is what it's about. This is what you're going to do in School Captains. You're going to walk in, and they're going to have a foyer table, and it's going to have the cut glass bowl they got for their wedding. It's going to have a lamp that's too big, that they don't need anyway, and you're going to go, okay, why don't we work on your foyer table? That might be a fun place to freshen up. That's what you're going to, if they want a spot to add a little spunk to, well, this is what we're going to do. We are going to transform that space. So let's do that. We're going to start with this basket, okay? This is our French wire basket. We lined this in a really loose burlap. Can you see that on the screen? It's really wonderful. It's just sort of tucked in there. Nothing fancy, just tucked in there to hide our potted plants. Now, the potted plants that are in here, there's asparagus fern in the back. See the texture of the asparagus fern? I want y'all to copy everything you see that you love. Okay, raise your hand. I will duplicate. What I love. So look for pictures that you love, especially of container combinations like this, and just do it. That's another thing. I want to start right now by saying there's this little core designer that when you walk into somebody's house, I'm going to tell you a story tomorrow about somebody I was helping out just recently, but they're really looking for you to be a problem solver. And the thing that I want to challenge y'all to do is solve right there. Just be decisive. Be decisive. Even if you walk away and end up changing it a little bit later, if they want to have something special out that's not a Willow House product, help them get it out. And you can surround it with beautiful things that we may have around it, okay? But it's that little decisive designer in you that can really help them solve that problem. That is going to make the difference in the way you walk into people's homes. Does that make sense? Instead of saying, oh, well, you could do this, you could do it. Just do it. And this is how you do it. Okay, so we have this space. I love this basket because it adds some height just with the back that it has. But this is what we're going to do. The space needs a little more height. I'm going to turn around for a second. I want it to be higher on the left and go down to the right. Think about how you read. You read from left to right. Sort of that American nature in us kind of likes things to scale down from the left to the right. It's hard. Left to the right. Am I doing that right? It's hard to do backwards. But so we're going to do that here. So we have this on the left. Now look at what we did to add more height. We just used these thin branches and we made a fun little handle. And we just sat a little branch across. Now you can tie this. I think we have some jute back there. Let's pull that up, ladies, and we'll show it. You could tie a little jute here to be even more natural. And then you have this beautiful collection of plants below. Now, next, we want to stretch out. We're going to use some books. Let's grab our books. And we're going to start putting some books out because books are your best friend. Okay? Start going into those wonderful, just tiny little antique shops that are not expensive. Not the fancy ones, the great mom and pop. And just look for books. Take the covers off. If they have like the fancy book cover, take them off. And just look for ones that are subtle colors. And I have the books that I have at home. I love because I find ones with really funny names. And if somebody's in my house long enough, they start like laughing because they're like, do you see what that book says? And it's just like funny old Southern books, and you just stack them up like we're going to show you here in just a minute. Now, what we're going to use these for is pedestals, okay? And we're going to kind of do that same thing I told you about before. We're going to kind of stack them at an angle. And is there one more book back there? I think there is. And we're going to start just tinkering, okay? That's our new word. We're going to tinker. Okay, you're going to go into somebody's house and they're going to be like, I'm just not happy with my foyer table. Let's tinker a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Let's pull some things together. Well, we're going to pull together. I just flipped over our battery operated candle. There we go. We're going to start just kind of putting these together on here and start adding some height. Okay, now special things. This is a bird nest that my boys found in a tree in our front yard. And it sits in our guest room. And it's up high. So it's still together as a nest. But we just put 3 little eggs in here, and I'm going to use it Something special. See how it kind of has a little tilt? I'm going to let Derek come over here too so he can shoot it for you. And I'm going to come behind and tinker a little bit. I'm going to pull this here. See that? See how it's kind of a very consolidated space. They're still going to have a place to throw their keys. It's not going to take up their whole foyer table, but it really comes, and if it's a longer table, you can kind of stretch out. If you don't like this color here, you can move this here. You can move this one here. Just continue to play with it until you're happy. And then tomorrow, we're also going to talk about how when you're styling, this is in one of the videos we did as well, kind of walk away from it. You know, and tell them that. Say, let's play with it. Now let's go look at some other areas. And then come back to it. And you're going to find something you're going to want to change. Smidge here, smidge there. Oh, you know that color, something in my gut says that color needs to move down a little. Just follow your gut. You know, you're just starting the process. And that's the great thing about a home, is it's always evolving.